6-year-old Lilly and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan vanished from their Nova Scotia home. Now, newly released court documents are pulling back the curtain on what really happened, and the details are chilling. This is the story of a case that's gripped my hometown of Nova Scotia and the world, with twists that keep getting weirder. So I'm Joseph Morris, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's dive right in. On May 2nd, 2025 at 10:01 a.m., Malehya Brooks Murray, the mother of Lilly and Jack, called 911 from their mobile home in Lansdowne Station, Pictou County, Nova Scotia. She said her kids had wandered off from their rural home on Gairloch Road. Police showed up 26 minutes later, but the kids were gone. Malehya said she thought Lilly and Jack, who shared a bedroom, slipped out while she was dozing that morning. She heard them giggling around 8 a.m., but by 9:40, it was quiet. Her partner, 37-year-old Daniel Martel, the kid's stepfather, checked the front door, where he'd placed a wrench the night before to keep it secure from a bear. The wrench was still there, so he figured they went out the back sliding door. So that's a really strange way to secure a door, in my opinion, especially with kids in the house. What do you guys think? But now let's rewind. The last confirmed sighting of Lilly and Jack outside their home was on May 1st at 2:25 p.m. on video at Dollarama in New Glasgow, about 20 kilometers away. Malehya, Daniel, Lilly, Jack, and their 16-month-old daughter, Meadow, which is such a sweet name, were running errands, grabbing poutine at Acropole Pub and Grill, hitting a pharmacy, stopping at a Starbucks drive-thru, and possibly Tim Hortons. They got home late, and Malehya said she tucked the kids into bed around 10 p.m., later than their usual 8 p.m. bedtime, still in their day clothes. Lilly in a pink sweater, pink pajamas with white shapes, and a Barbie top. Jack in black sweatpants, a t-shirt, and a diaper. She shut their bedroom door, went to bed with Meadow, and didn't know when Daniel came to bed. The RCMP launched a massive search, covering 8.5 square kilometers of dense woods, wells, and mine shafts around Lansdowne Station, with helicopters, drones, and over 100 volunteers. But here's a chilling detail. On May 2nd, Malehya's relatives found a piece of Lilly's pink LOL doll blanket tangled in a tree, a full kilometer from the house, and another piece was later found in a trash bag at the end of their driveway. Malehya said she tossed the blanket because it was getting warmer, and Daniel had been using it to block a draft. But a blanket in a tree, to me that makes it way less likely that they just wandered off. What do you guys think? And the strange clues don't stop there. Police also found boot prints on a nearby pipeline trail, including a child-size 11 matching Lilly's, plus a sock, a scrap of purple fabric. They even collected some scat, maybe human, maybe animal. A police dog couldn't pick up the kid's scent near the blanket, which only deepens the mystery. But the strange discoveries outside weren't the only focus. Inside the home, investigators turned their attention to the family itself. On May 12th, Malehya and Daniel took polygraph tests at the Bible Hill RCMP detachment. Both passed, with results showing they were truthful, though the questions are redacted. An investigator wrote, quote, "Jack and Lilly's disappearance is not believed to be criminal in nature," end quote. Which to me, I found very surprising. What do you guys think about that statement? Because polygraphs are a pseudoscience. Daniel later told the Canadian press his tests focus on whether he harmed the kids, while Malehya took hers to clear herself as a suspect. Daniel's mom, 60-year-old Janie McKenzie, who lives in a camper on the property, took a polygraph on June 10th, but her results were inconclusive because her, quote, "physiology wasn't suitable for analysis," end quote. I mean, that's sort of a peculiar detail. What do you guys make of that? Malehya's grandmother, Cindy Brooks Murray, and her boyfriend, Wade Paris, also took polygraphs on July 2nd, and both passed. Investigators didn't stop there. They also looked at the children's biological father, Cody Sullivan. Cody, who lost his construction job, apartment, and vehicle 9 months earlier, hadn't seen Lilly or Jack in 3 years, after Malehya gained sole custody following their breakup. He took a polygraph on June 12th and passed, confirming his lack of contact. Malehya called police at 12:45 a.m. on May 3rd, suggesting Cody might have taken the kids to New Brunswick. But cops found him at home at 2:50 a.m. and a May 7th tip about him in New Brunswick didn't pan out. The RCMP checked Cobequid Pass toll plaza footage from May 1st, 2:25 p.m. to May 3rd, 3 a.m. to see if Cody or anyone left the province with the kids. But the results are still unclear. And if that wasn't strange enough, a civilian witness on May 31st named Natasha Haywood told police she saw two kids walking along Gairloch Road toward Westville on May 2nd in the morning. The girl, who she thought was 9 or 10, had dark hair in pigtails and wore a tank top with blue strings. The boy, about 5, had dirty blonde hair and wore shorts. They were holding hands, heading toward a 50 to 60-year-old woman with a loose curl haircut by an older tan or gold sedan with the back door open. Natasha confirmed the spot in early June. So was this Lilly and Jack? I mean, the ages are off, but it's close enough to make you wonder. Now let's backtrack to piece together the family's movements. On April 30th, Malehya, Daniel, Lilly, Jack, and Meadow went to Malehya's grandmother's house in Millbrook to do laundry. Then got gas at Ultramar, bought a vape for Daniel, and grabbed groceries, getting home at 10:19 p.m. On May 1st, the kids stayed home from school with coughs. The family went to New Glasgow, hitting Dollarama, a pharmacy, Acropole Pub and Grill for poutine, and possibly Tim Hortons and Starbucks. Malehya fed the kids supper, let them watch TV, and maybe play outside before bed. She was too tired to unpack clean laundry, so they slept in their day clothes. Janie gave police 2 statements saying she heard Lilly and Jack playing on the swings and laughing around 8:50 a.m. on May 2nd before dozing off. She woke to her dog barking and Daniel yelling for the kids. Daniel said he searched the woods and heard a scream that sounded like Lilly and Jack, but a helicopter overhead drowned it out. And that's the first time I've heard about this scream. Could it be a clue or just a trick of the mind? By mid-July, the RCMP had filed 12 record access orders, digging into Malehya and Daniel's phone records, bank transactions, GPS data, and Malehya's deleted TextPlus app, which she said she didn't need anymore. They also requested school bus footage from Salt Springs Elementary. The RCMP got 740 tips and 9,300 videos, all being reviewed by the Northeast Nova Major Crime Unit. As of July 16th, police didn't think the case was criminal, but RCMP spokesperson Allison Gerard called it a very active investigation, exploring every scenario. And then the Globe and Mail dropped troubling context about the family's home life. There were reports of Daniel's drug use, controlling behavior, potential neglect or abuse towards the kids, and financial struggles. Malehya's monthly Canada Child Benefit check, estimated at about $1,900, was halted because Daniel hadn't filed his taxes by April 30th, and child support from Cody had stopped after he lost his roofing job 9 months earlier. So could these money troubles point to a motive? Malehya and Daniel denied using physical discipline, but these details make you question what was going on behind closed doors. Malehya hasn't spoken publicly since early May and left Lansdowne Station to stay with family, taking Meadow. Daniel stayed, telling CBC, quote, "They know my life inside and out." End quote. So those are all the details from the court documents. Now here's my take. The disappearance of Lilly and Jack is a puzzle with pieces that just do not fit. The blanket in a tree a kilometer away, the wrench on the door, that scream. To me, these are all just red flags that cannot be ignored. And then, of course, we hear about the deleted TextPlus app, which Malehya claims she didn't need anymore. So from an investigative standpoint, TextPlus is a Wi-Fi calling and texting app that provides secondary phone numbers, often used for privacy or temporary communication. Unlike apps with end-to-end encryption, TextPlus stores messages on the servers, meaning police might recover deleted text if they access the right data. So Malehya's decision to delete it right after the kids vanished raises some very serious questions. Was she hiding a conversation? Maybe orchestrating the kids' disappearance? So until those messages are recovered and those details are explained, this case will just never sit right with me. To me, overall, this entire court documents being released really shows to me that the RCMP are taking those polygraphs very seriously. But the problem with polygraph tests is that you can easily pass them by learning how to control your body reactions. I mean, you can practice being under stress in your mind and raising your heart rate when you're asked to control questions, so that when you answer the harder questions that you're trying to deceive the polygraph tester, you'll actually pass. I mean, this information is just readily available online. And I really do actually urge the RCMP to not take those polygraphs as the Bible and not look at those being passed and actually forget about them and still investigate the family. Because I am of the opinion that these children were removed from their home and it was an orchestrated removal, and that this whole thing was planned and those children were taken away. So that new sighting on the side of the road, even though the details do not match with the clothing and the ages, I think that is possibly one of the biggest leads that we got in this case. I also just think it's very weird that this case isn't being pursued criminally, because it sounds to me like these children were being neglected. I mean, we're learning that Jack and Lilly weren't even changed before they went into bed, and Jack still was in pull-ups when he supposedly disappeared in the woods. I'm telling you right now, those kids are not in those woods. Those searches turned up nothing. You have to explore other possibilities. Anyway, I look forward to reading all of your comments. Thanks for diving into this haunting Nova Scotia mystery with me. Nova Scotia has not forgotten about these kids. I still think about them every day, searching for an update. So if you want more updates on Lilly and Jack, hit like and subscribe and leave a comment, because I try to read every single one. Bye, guys.